Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Happy
Tuesday. Alan, did we lost you?
Yep, hold on. There we go. Am I back?
Yes.
Okay. So it's been a while. It's been a minute for a stream for the Believe in Serverless group. I hope you all had a good summer break. We sure did. And, while we might have been resting, one thing definitely didn't rest, and that's the world of AI and agents and all of these various code editors and algorithms and coding paradigms. And that's actually what we're here to talk about today. We're here to take a look at the shift. What's been happening over the past year, the past few months, and how do we stay up to date and adjust the way that we write code? So with me today is Udaya. Did I say that right? Udaya?
Yes.
Yes.
Udaya, Udaya is fine. Yeah. Anything is
All
fine.
right.
People call
Well,
me
good
Uday most of the
afternoon. And so
time.
one thing that we talk about in this community a lot is Texas. For whatever reason, the majority of the people that run this community are Texan. So I have with me a fellow Texan, and
Excellent.
you just so happen to be in the town that I grew up in. So I think that's very cool. So welcome. I have to figure out how to put our names back on the screen. I haven't done this in a while. Let's there we go.
There we
There
go.
we go.
Yes.
So, Udaya, would you please introduce yourself and the topic, and then I'm just going to hand it back over to you, and we'll roll.
Thanks, Alan. Good afternoon, evening, morning, everyone. My name is Udaya Veeramreddygari. So I'm by profession as a lead software engineer who's working on cloud transformation projects. And apart from a professional thing, I write blogs, articles, and at times I come to speaking like this. And as Alan was mentioning, like I'm AI enthusiast too. So today we'll go ahead and see what is like cloud native development, how it's shifting from like couple of years ago or maybe like 5-10 years ago till today, and how it may shift to the future state whatever we are at right now. So let me share my experiences on that with you all.
Okay. I'm going to bring your screen up, and while I do that, I'm going to get off. If anybody has any questions during the talk, feel free to toss them into the comments. We're going to address them at the very end. Typically, these tend to be good, engaging discussion starters. So instead of interrupting the flow, just cue them up, and we'll talk about them there at the end. So, all
Yes.
right, that's it for me, and I will see you guys at the end.
Yeah. Thanks, Alan. So let's go through the topic of today, like cloud native development. Like how was it then? Then I would say like it's from past 2 to 3 years, and how it is, or what are the things happening now in recent past with most of the companies or organizations, where it will end in future. So maybe I mean future we cannot predict, but I'm trying to predict the future, saying like this may be it or this may be the future direction where we ended up. So let's go about this topic, cloud native development. Whenever we talk about that, we have something going on back of our mind, saying like microservices, where we don't want huge monoliths to be developed. Everything should be short and sweet, independent workable component. We make it as containerized, where we add dependencies, we put them, or we give them into an orchestration where it will be deployed into a cloud environments. And we do DevOps principles. We use DevOps principles there, where we have developers, operations, all team sit together towards this achievement. And if you see, like we have automation already in there. Whenever we have a code is done, how we do, we have like I think like 2018 or 19 we have this. I'm talking about more about GitHub Actions, where we have this actions out there. Whenever we check in some code, it'll automatically pick it up and try to deploy to an environment. So that's, I would say, like semi automation. Still we have this development part of it is still manual, like somebody is doing it, developing the code, somebody is peer reviewing it, and after that whenever you feel it's good, you check in the code, automatically it will deploy to the environment where you're looking for. That's about CI/CD and immutable infrastructure. So instead of having attachment to the environment. We just scrap it whenever we don't need, and we can create a new environment on the fly. That's about key concept which we think about on back of mind whenever we think about cloud native development. So moving on to next. So why we need to go for this cloud native development? So as we were talking, it's a microservices, right? It's faster to market, where you can deliver things to customers easily within no time, and we have a scalability and we have resilience in case it failures, how fast we can recover it, and we have an agility, as I was mentioning, fast to the market. So where you can deliver the products or the working product to the client within no time, and it will reduce the cost also, because the environment which we need to maintain is very little, and the development process will be speed up and simplified because of a small amount of the work which we'll be doing. In case of monolith, you would end up, though you are changing small amount of code, you would end up touching or testing everything. But whenever it comes to microservices, it's small piece of code which you'll be working on. So moving on to next. So these are buzzwords we'll be using throughout this session. So I'm just introducing it now, so that like whenever we talk, I'll explain it more. So generative AI agents, as Alan was mentioning, all these things from past 6 months, 1 year, like got more attention to this, like generative AI agents, Agentic AI, multi-agents, MCPs, and RAG. So RAG is a kind of memory. So we'll talk through this whenever we are going through the other slides and demos. So going on to next. So let's see like how it was happening. The cloud native development was happening earlier. Before going into the little technicality of things, so whenever we are working on something, we'll form a team where let's say lead developer is already there. Whenever he is forming a team, he'll try to interview a person saying like, okay, I need a developer of a full stack, and we'll see like whether he has a required technical knowledge. So I'm emphasizing this technical knowledge. Keep it in mind. I'll come back to that later. So I have technical knowledge of it. Whenever I'm interviewing a person, I'll make sure my developer or QA or the SREs which I need in my team have enough technical knowledge of it. So I'll interview them and I'll deploy them and I'll create my own team. So what used to happen in earlier days, whenever I get a feature request saying like, hey, this is a big project we want to implement, we'll take it up as a lead and I'll analyze it, and if possible, I'll make it as a technical requirement document and I'll give it to my group of team people, saying like, hey, this is a requirement which we have, and we want to develop this and deploy this into an environment. So developer will own it and he'll do his own part as well as QA and SRE. So to simplify the discussion, we'll only concentrate on developer part. So let's say like what happens in this scenario. I have a given a requirement, developer will take back the requirement, he'll code it and he'll test it, and after that is done, he'll try to give a pull request back to a lead saying like, hey, or a peer saying like, okay, can you review it for me? So once that is done, the semi automation which I was telling, the CI/CD part will come into picture. As soon as that PR is reviewed and we're all good, it's all done, then when as a lead or some lead person is going to merge that PR, so it will get deployed into your infrastructure. So this is how the typical development process happens within a given team. So the things is two things. One is a technical knowledge of the team, and second thing I forgot. Second thing is in this whole team, technical knowledge required to develop a particular feature. This first thing, and second thing would be the domain knowledge or the functional knowledge of the project which they are working on, and third thing will be like what task they'll be working on. These three things are more important to deliver any good project to live with less defects or functionally working on. So should have a technical knowledge one, and you should understand about the functionality of app, and moreover whenever you are getting tasked, whoever giving the task, they should be able to explain you in a better fashion where you can understand as a developer and deliver the code. So this is what happening. So main caveat in this, what you see is like sometimes you might need an expert help. You might go to somebody next to your peer. In case your peer is not available, you try to Google it and see like, okay, what are different options. So the technology shift and paradigm, what we are talking, like the shift has happened there where like a couple of years ago, maybe 3-4 years back, we have this ChatGPT and other kind of tools where we got introduced Gen AI tools, where if we have a problem, if we describe them, they'll give a solution for it, or maybe more than one, and you will see what best suits for us, or you take one after the other and see whether it works or not. So I would say like Gen AI is kind of advanced Google. Instead of giving hundreds of pages back and ask you to choose, it's confining to your problem, and it's giving exact solutions what you have to implement. So that's little shift has happened out there like 3 4 years back. Whenever Gen AI, I mean, if 10 years back you always rely on a person or a Google, now after this little shift happened where you'll be relying on Gen AI, where it's like a little friend who can help you out there. So you got a feature to develop, and I mean, you got it, and you're developing it. You have an issue. You are taking help of Gen AI to resolve it. So that's the thing which is there from, I would say, like, then I would say it may be time frame of past 1 year, 1 to 3 years, I would say. So let's see what are the limitations or what goods or bads we have in here. So when we see it like most, there is a time and cost consuming with this process in terms of manual process. What we are doing, manual process in the sense, first thing, like, we have to understand the requirement. Though we have enough technical knowledge and the functional knowledge of the project, whenever a new requirement comes in, it will definitely take time for us to understand what is that about. And second thing is, we need to manually code it entirely after understanding it, and we have enough technical knowledge, so we go ahead and code it. Though you know everything how to code it, but it will definitely take some time, depends on the complexity of the issue what you have. And as we were discussing, we have semi-automated deployment process where, yeah, I think we can reuse it till today also. As soon as your coding is done, so it's going and deploying it to environment, and maybe from there you can run your automated test cases, or you can let your users test it. And one good or bad thing, good and minor bad thing is, we have like a lot of manual process out there, but with this process we have a lot of reviews happening before it go to any of the environment to test. So I would say like quality of code got will be definitely a positive in this case, though we are taking a little bit of time because of human intervention in between. So we will end up reviewing it multiple times and doing delivery of quality code. There may be a chance, being a human, we might make mistakes sometimes because of overwhelming work we have, or we may be distracted with the usual things. So depends on them. Depending on all these things, as we have little human intervention, or more human intervention in here, where we are doing routine tasks. So this is one area where we can do an improvement. So let's go to the next topic. Let's say, as I was mentioning earlier, like, instead of waiting for a human or a expert in your team to help you, so what if, like, you have given an AI tool to each and every team member, so that like they can improve their productivity. Instead of let's say, like, you can use still Gen AI, where it will give responses, but it still be limited. It's an advanced Google. It will not suggest you where you need to have the code, or it will not replace your code, or it will not test for you. So this is one example where our existing team is same, and it's getting replaced, or I don't say it's replaced. I would say it's giving an enhanced tools for us, or having a pair programmer, AI as a pair programmer to you. So this is a scenario which a lot of people right now are trying in, or maybe already tried and using it, or maybe still thinking of going this. This is the now situation of cloud native development. Let's concentrate on one thing, like how these developments can be done using any of the AI tools, whatever we have. So I'll switch over to demo mode, where I have a cursor IDE which I'll be using for demoing this. So let's do that. So as I was telling, right? So we have a requirement. Let me go to my browser. Oh, that's me, by the way. So I've just created a small GitHub repo for us to speed it up. So my requirement is I need to create a small web service. I'm a Spring Boot person, so I'll talk more about Spring Boot. So Java full stack. So my requirement is to create a small project where I need to follow proper coding standards, whatever we have, and I want to create one particular API endpoint for a book entity. So where we are having attributes of that book as this. So let's see how AI editor or my let's I mean I'm wearing a hat of developer right now, so I'm a developer. I've been tasked to develop this application, and these are the technologies whatever I have. Let me go back. So Spring, where's that? Yes, I need to create a REST API. I'm a Spring Boot senior Java developer. I need to use Java 17, and database I need to use H2 and Spring Boot as my backend, and I need to follow all the coding standards which is supposed to be. When I'm creating, I need to create my security, exception handling, documentation, unit tests. I think I somewhere I've given unit tests too. So all these things I need to develop. So usually what happens in the first scenario, when I'm given this, I'll go ahead and I'll start manually creating everything. I'll create a folder, I'll create a file, I'll start writing code, or I'll go to some boilerplate code wherever I can find. I'll download it and I'll try to enhance it. So let's see how AI assistant, as we've seen in here, is helping the developer. So what I'm saying, I'm just saying implement changes from, did I copy that? Yes, issue. So what I'm asking my helper tool to do. So I'm just saying implement changes from the issue. So issue has all the requirement is need to supposed to read and develop it for me. Let's see what happens. While it's doing, we'll talk about more like what's happening here. So I gave an instruction saying like first clone the repo. If it is not already cloned, it's trying to clone the repo, and I'm asking it to create a rules for them. Rules in the sense, if you are working with sorry I've asked it to create a feature branch also. It's creating rules. If you see, rules are nothing but instructions what we give it to tool, because AI, if you see, it's a huge knowledge base, right? So we don't want it to hallucinate a lot. So I'm asking first, my criteria what I've given is, you are a Spring Boot Java developer, so you have to define a rules about what are best practices, what you need to use whenever you are writing a Spring Boot project. So I've told it to do it, and it's asking me to review changes. I say like approved, they look good, and I'll say I'm going in and giving an approval. So I'm not reviewing it, I'm believing it right now just for the demo purpose. So if not, you have to go ahead and review it's good or not. So if you see, the human intervention, human touch is still there, where I'm taking help of AI, but I'm the one who is driving it. So let's see, it's creating all the folders which needed, and it's doing it. So if you think about the human scenario versus this scenario, it's doing exactly same as what I'm supposed to do sometimes. Yes, right? The way how we develop, we go ahead and we define our own coding standards, and we go ahead and create folders, and we are creating a pom.file. Yes, we are creating pom.file. Similarly, like same thing, it will be done. It will take some time. Before that, yeah, as it is doing this thing, I want to talk about two things. One is MCP, what we talk about, right? So when we see it here, I have MCPs of two. One is a file-based system where I'm giving an access to this tool to access my folder structure and do whatever it likes to do, but ask a permission before doing anything. And I have GitHub MCP also, where I've plugged in, which is a tool is given. So MCP are nothing but pluggable tools where IDE cannot do everything, right? So we need to give access to certain tools so that like it can go and connect to GitHub. Right now, what it is doing, it's connecting to issues. I mean, it's connecting to GitHub, right? So I have given an access to it. That's the reason why it's connecting to GitHub and getting the issue information, whatever there in this particular portion. So it's reading everything because I've given a tool access to it. So if you see, it's disabled now because I was trying it, it was slow. So what I did, I given a permission of the tool of GitHub CLI, which runs locally on my machine instead of giving this MCP tools. So if you go with MCP, or if you have any option to locally run the same tools, both ways it should work. So MCP is pluggable things, pluggable, I would say, tools what you can give it to an IDE. So like you can talk to external systems or external areas of information where you need. So that's about MCP. Second thing is RAG, right? RAG is nothing but a kind of memory what we give it to it. So as we talked about in the first case, right? Whenever I'm deploying a resource, what I do, I'll interview them whether they know the whether they have a technical knowledge or not. In our case, AI is well trained, so it has all technical knowledge. Second thing is we should give a memory to it, or we should train a human on the project where they are working. So this RAG will be like how it should behave, like the standard rules what we are defining it here, saying like, okay, you are a Spring Boot project, sorry, you are a senior developer and this is Spring Boot project and these are the rules of what you need to develop. As well as we explain or we give a readme to it saying like this is about the project. So these two things combinedly, I would say it's a memory to the IDE whatever we are giving. So similarly, a man will have technical knowledge as well as the functional knowledge. That both together is the knowledge or RAG what we are giving to this right now. So let's see. It's going while we're talking. It's doing a lot of things. So let's see what it is doing. By the way, VS Code. So it's not VS Code, but it's creating because I read it somewhere like it's being built on top of VS Code codebase. So don't worry about that. So if you see, like it's created bunch of folders or files for us. So this is an entity. If you remember the entity, we said like we need an entity with 3-4 attributes like title, author, ISBN number, and price. So just created, and it's trying to create the well-formed folder structures and the patterns what it's supposed to be using. I'm seeing a weird issue here, so forget about that. Sometimes it's asking me to do multiple clicks out there. So this is how currently we are developing in this scenario. I've been given a task. My lead has told me to do something. So in this case, I'm using my AI helper to develop the task, but I'm making sure at every step I'm reviewing it. I'm reviewing it and making sure it's doing right. So it might take a minute or two. Let's see this. It's creating configurations. As I was mentioning, it was creating logging, it's creating API documentation, it's creating security module. This is a security module. I think it will take a default username and password as admin, and it might create a open API specifications Swagger document too. It's creating it. So think a scenario like how to create a project with all these standards. How much time will it take? So it may take a day, 2 days, a week, right? So when you use a tool like this, maybe some other editor, so you are speeding up your capability, or you are multiplying your productivity by like triple, 4 times, 10 times, depends on like how better you can use this tool. So I think we are almost there. Okay. Yeah, one good thing, like, okay, when it's doing, I want to talk about something else also. What I'm doing here, so I'm using an agent mode in here. So we talked about AI agents and agentic AI, right? So AI agents are something which have limited knowledge and they can't go beyond that. So agentic AI, I would say, it's an extension of AI agents where you have a lot of other tools, access to other tools where you can do little more than what AI agents can do. So simple example which happened last week with me. So AI agent chatbot, people are very loving it. So I had a package which got lost. So when I asked with the chatbot saying like, hey, where is my package? It asked me for the number. So when I gave the number, it just tried to search for it, and it said like it blocked and it's lost somewhere. When I asked again saying like where it got lost, it didn't have an answer because the scope of the agent is only to respond to a specific query saying like, okay, what is your package tracking number? It will track it and see like what is the status of it. That's the scope of it. So I would say if it is in an agentic mode, so it will go and check where exactly it failed or where exactly the package is, and it will try to contact that person, or at least it should give back the location where it exactly lost with a contact number where we can call them. So that is little tools where we can give it. So that's the major difference. What I can say, a agent is doing one task and which has little boundary around it, where in agentic you have tools available where you can do little more than what simple agent can do. I would say agent with more knowledge as human is an agentic mode. Similar kind of thing, what we are trying right now. They call it as agent mode within an IDE, what we have here. So if you see it here on the top right, we have agent mode. I think we have ask and some other one. Ask and agent. Ask is like Gen AI mode where it will be giving you question and answers. Depends on the context, whatever you have. But agent mode, it will perform task also. So it doesn't suggest saying like, hey, do this. So if I ask the same thing in ask mode, it may have given a long description saying like this is the things you need to do step one step after the other. But in agent mode, it's doing on behalf of me. So let's see. I think we had enough talking. I think it's done a lot of code changes. It's compiled it. It's done everything, and right now it's trying to commit to a branch. So let's give a permission. So do it. So parallelly, we'll go and check what is happening here. This is a demo. I think it would end up creating a branch here with all the code changes what it has done. Let's see where it is. Oh, it's pushing it right now. Yes. No, you may tell me like why are you not reviewing all these things, as this is a demo and we are in live. I don't want to go through step by step saying like, hey, this is right, this is right, this is right, and believing it's right and everything. So right now what it's happening, it's created a pull request and it's trying to run the server and check whether whatever the code we have done is working properly or not. So it's running some curl commands against the local endpoints and see whether it's running or not. So if you see, this is the server which is running. I think it failed. Let's see. It saw some error and I think it will try to fix it and try to run it again. Yeah, it's trying it again. Let's see what's happening. So this is one more thing. Let's say you are doing a development and you fail at some point. What you do, you stop it, you take that error, you analyze it. If you have a prior knowledge of it, you'll analyze it, or if you don't know, you Google it or ask a friend. So same thing is happening. It's failing it here. It's trying to analyze what is the failure. So it will analyze the failure and it will try to fix it again, saying like, oh, I missed this. So let me fix that in here. So let me shift it. Yeah, it's saying, oh, I see a problem in data.sql, blah, blah, blah. I need to fix something. If you see it, so it's added some more code here saying like, okay, because of this, I'm getting that error. Now it will try to run it again and test the application to see whether it's working or not. So basically it wrote the code, it wrote a unit test cases. It says like everything is good. And right now it is testing a production kind live scenario where it's trying to run the server and test the sample APIs, whatever we have with sample data. Okay. It's going on. It's going. It's all good. It's still running. It's still an error. Let's see what it says right now. It's in the thinking mode. Application is working now. Okay. Let's see that. I may be silent. That's not, you didn't lose me. I'm still here. Let's see, it may be running more than one Tomcat. I'll try to kill the other one. So it's trying to test the UI. Let it run first. The application started. I'm running it to see whether it can give the results back. Excellent. Yes, it's all done now. So it's trying to run the API now to see whether results are back or not. I think it's the results are back. And we are good with this. Now I think it will say like we are good, and it will try to add any fixes it has done. So I think like one or two fixes it's made, right? So those changes it will try to push it in again to the branch which is already created now. Let's see what happens next. So it's trying to push it, the final code to the branch. So let's see. Perfect. Now let me update cursors. Yes. About this, so I was telling that we have two things which we need to train an AI agent or the person which we are in. One is the technical knowledge and the functional knowledge. In my instructions in here, I've just gave an instruction saying like, hey, whenever you are doing a new change, add that knowledge back to your knowledge base, which is the rules, whatever you have. So I think, yeah, check and update related changes rules when rules file which is already created. So what it's doing right now, so it's trying to add all the knowledge from what it is developed back into this Spring Boot rules, whatever we have. So this will be this particular project's knowledge base. Whenever we ask a question, whenever we ask it to implement something, it will try to it not try to, it will go through all the rules before it's doing any code. So I think we are done. So it's saying like you review the code from feature branch and create a pull request. I believe it. I would say like I am good with this and create a PR. So if you see it here, we have the branch already created for this. Yes. So this is a branch it has. This is a branch where we have all the code. So let's see what my IDE is doing now. So I'm good with this. I think it's summarizing all the chat. So it's trying to summarize like what it has done till now. Like it's created all these features and it knows like, sorry, yes, I think you can able to see. So it did a lot of changes and it's created a lot of API endpoints. It's created hefty documentation. It's created a proper folder structure. It created test cases. It created some DB with sample data and everything. It created error handling. Everything is collating here as part of pull request before it can send a pull request to us. So as this is running, we don't need this anymore. The server, I'm just shutting it down. With this approach, what we are doing, we still have a human interaction or human intervention whenever we are delivering it. The pull which is ready for your review. So let me see. Let me see. Sorry. What? This happens when it's a issue. Live demo issue. The pull is ready for you. Approved. I don't see the PR. Can you create one? I'm asking it to create because I didn't see it. So it's supposed to be coming in here. Let's see what it does now. So it's trying to see the status, whether it's missed any files. It's trying to see what is its remote. And obviously it will create a pull request for us. Yeah, it's taking a minute. So if you see it, right? So if you see it, so this is the branch which is created and had all the changes for us. So if you see the changes, right? These are the changes which is created. It has the documentation, the rules, and the README file. It has git ignore and all other files which we are looking for. So finally, it should end up creating a PR. I think it will take a little time. Let's see like what it is doing up there. I think it's a little confused out there. Oh, I think it's messed up something and it's saying we need to create a pull request in the place branch. Return an issue. I'm saying it approve to test it one more time. While it is doing, let's go back to our PowerPoint to see like this is the approach what we're doing, where we have a developer using AI tools. We are trying to develop something and pushing it for review of for our peers. So what's goods and bads what we have? So when we see this here, though I know everything how what I need to do, it's taking time. Maybe a week. I would say like to be on a medium side, like it might take 2 to 3 days for me to do that project end to end. But now if you see like it's took less than like 15-20 minutes for us to develop. And if you see, we have minimal intervention from me saying hey upload or check the code, don't check the code, and for the further instructions I'm giving, the little minimal human intervention is there. And the major part is, so whenever we need to have good code to be delivered by AI, you should train it well, which is nothing but which we are seeing it in our rules. Okay, I'm running it. The rules, whatever we have here. So this is a training part what we are talking about. So all in all, like when we compare to a previous shift to now, I think it's behaving odd today. So what I'll do, I'll kill this. So assume like it worked. Um, sorry, my bad. Assume that's what. Sorry, my bad. So or else like I'll have it worked in some time. I think it's created. Let me check one last time. If not, we'll assume it's done. No, I think it's still doing something here. So let's assume like it's created a PR here. So we might end up having a test PR like this, and if that command would have worked properly, so we would have a pull request like this, where a lead or a peer will go ahead and review it as soon as they merged it. So automatically the semi-automation whatever we have, that will get trigger off and it will get deployed to environment wherever we are targeted to. So this is how end-to-end works with an help of an agent. So let's see what are advantages or disadvantages what we have from previous one to this. So if you see the previous one, yeah, previous time like most of the manual task it's been reduced. I don't know, though I know what I need to do, I don't need to do it because the agent mode or Agentic AI mode is helping us to do it. A lot of time saving out there, where time saving in the sense like it's boosting my productivity. In case some errors are coming up, it's detecting by itself and saying like, okay, I know this, and I'm going and fixing it again. It's all done by agent automatically and with the help of human out there. So when we compare from this one to this one, the earlier one to now, where the humans or the developers productivity is going high, but one caveat what we see is you need to train your AI well. If you don't train your AI well, so the results will not be coming in a fashion where you are looking for. So, and one more thing what we have is human intervention mode. So let's say I've done these kind of projects for 1 year or 2 years. It may be monotonous, right? I know my agent works. I don't want to be a man who is or a person who is interrupting it or giving instruction to it. I know it works well. I've trained my agent well. So what will be the next step? This may be the future which we may anticipate. It may come or may not come. So this is the same fashion where you will have, instead of people sitting in sitting in the positions, we'll have a main orchestration agent. So that agent will read the requirement and it will see like, okay, this is a requirement. It will try to check the GitHub repo saying like, okay, whether it's a new requirement or existing requirement, and it will see like what is the scope of development work. Whatever the development work is there, it will assign to dev agent, and dev agent will, as a response, will it give back a PR to it and saying like, okay, these are the changes you are asking for, and here are my changes. Let's see how this demo works. I have this skeleton ready, but only I'll be demoing the dev agent how it works. So what happens? Similarly, we have an issue created earlier, right? So we'll create a small issue and some other repo, and we'll see what happens, what agent does, and we'll come back to this. So next demo, which should be considerably fast. So for this, what I'm doing, just to give a prerequisites. So I have webhook created for this, and my local URL is working here. I have an agent which I'll be running it locally, and for my agent, I'm using Claude LLM. Give me 1 second. I'll go there. I think it has it. So I'm using in Node. I created this. So it has LLM of Claude Sonnet 4, which is running. So what happens? So whenever I create an issue, automatically my agent will read that issue, whatever I created, and it will try to implement it, and it will create a pull request and push it back to the repo where I've requested. So that's the demo which we're seeing. So in previous demo also, like we have seen the same, right? I have a issue out here. I'm asking my IDE to do it. So even then, that's doing good. We have a good results coming back from it. So one issue is like I am the person who is controlling it every time, but after I'm doing it for 100 times, I may not be needed because I should believe it because I've trained my AI agent well. So think after 2 years, I've trained my agent well, and this is my agent running. So I'm tasking my agent saying like I have a repo already, similar repo. I'm not asking it to do a lot of things. I'm asking it to generate a model, controller, service, and repository for it. That's it. I'm not going for huge code because it will create it, but it will take time. So for the demo purpose, I've just made my code agent restricted. Instead of hallucinating and creating everything, I'm asking it to create only specific classes for me. So let's demo that. Before that, I think I have a prompt. So right now the assumption is my agent have a technical knowledge, and for that it's using LLM Claude Sonnet, and I have a functional logic given as instructions or the rules whatever we have in this particular folder. What it will do whenever I gave an issue to it, so it will read it and it will try to look at this repo and it will try to get the knowledge from it and see like, hey, what is this project about, and the functionality and everything, and it will analyze the new change and it will try to implement in the same fashion whatever we have. So let's see what happens. So new issue, I would say new API endpoints. My agent is not reading title, it's only reading the description. So let's see what happens. So I'm just creating it. So if you see it, right, this is an agent which is running. So if you see it here, it's building a memory, and it built a memory with whatever the entities and everything it has. It's trying to read and see like what are existing classes and everything what we have. It's built a memory, and right now it's using Claude AI to generate the files for me. And uh, how or what it is creating, this is the prompt which is reading from the issue whatever we created. So from the, it has a knowledge from the code base, and it has the prompt what it has the task or prompt from the issue. So it's reading it and it's trying to create something here. Let's see what it does. So it's done something, it's created a branch and it's trying to push something. Let's see, is it done? Oh, you may see some error details out there because I'm using local, right? So HTTPS. So you may see that saying like signature authentication issue. So I don't want to run it for a long time. So I'm just closing it. So just to make sure it's not eating my resources. So let's see what happens here. So the previous example, in this, what we have seen, we have asked our cursor to generate everything for us. Similar ask, I've done it via agent which is running. So let's see what it is done for us. If you see, it has created a pull request for me here. If you see the pull request just open just now, so it's created, as I was mentioning, like I'm not asking it to create a lot of code. So I'm just asking it to create only domain, controller, repository, and service. So it did it for me. So same thing, whatever we are doing here with the help of IDE, where I am the orchestrator, where I'm controlling saying, hey, you do this, you do this, you do this. Instead of this, I rely on my agent. I know my agent is good. I'm giving all permissions to it, saying like, hey, you do, I believe you. So this is the output. If you compare the differences, right, or the timing, so it took almost like 10-15 minutes. It's not even a minute. So that's where I would see like, if everything goes good with all the R&Ds or all the work what we are doing with the agents, right, we might end up in this scenario. So where you will have let me maximize this. Yeah, where you will have agents running for your development work, and we'll have a centralized agent out there, and which will read a requirement for you. Let's say like it's a GitHub where we have given a demo right now. It may be something else, some other product management tool where we have a GitHub or a triggering point where even some event will be listening or going to an agent. This orchestration will coordinate between other agents and deliver whatever you're looking for. It's kind of virtual team which we can have it within ourselves, and we can see like, okay, this is my new team, how and I can define roles and responsibilities, and I can give the knowledge to each and every agent so that like it will work independently. Okay, advantages, disadvantages. So I think I've given a GitHub link here. Everything is automated. I'm not doing anything. So I'm a lead. I'm just what I'm doing. I'm giving a specific requirement to my agent or the multi-agent architecture, whatever we say, right? For the multi-agent architecture, I'm giving my requirement. It's trying to analyze it, and it's trying to give the PR back to us. So second thing, what is important? Sorry, my bad. Not thanks. I have some water. So we need to train the agents. As I said, like I'm using my IDE to do a development. I've done it like 3, 4 times, 10 times, 100 times. I'm confident. Now I'm changing or converting that process as an agent. So the training of an agent is crucial part in here. If we don't train it well, you will end up having a lot of issues. And second thing, so when we compare to first, second, and third, so third is in case you don't train it well, you might not have a chance to check it. So you might end up having something breaking in production, and obviously, like, hey, don't take accountability, right? So it's just a machine. You said something, it does something. So accountability is human always. So whenever you want to have this multi-agent orchestration or multi-agent mode built for your development work, I would say do more and more training, do more and more testing before delivering it. So going to next, these are the what's next now. So these are the discussions I used to have in the meetings or the conferences I go, or within my community where I go for walking or something. So first question people ask, like, will only like do these agents replace or doing only developers work? I would say multi-agent work is not only for development. I would see these agents are more of creating agents in a real workflow. Right now, like we may be cloud native development is all about creating a microservices, right? So I would say agent is also like kind of a microservices. Let's say we are talking about chat agent, right? That's also advanced microservices, I would say, where we are asking a question which is an input to the API, and we are getting a response that's an output to the output. So but wherein when we consider the AI agent, it has more context, it has more knowledge, it has more scenarios where it has seen. So depends on that, it will give us an output. So replacing or adding AI to developers to boost their productivity is right. I don't know whether everybody will be replaced it by an agent, but for sure you can do a future development using agentic approach where you can have all agents instead of simple microservices in case you have any workflow process out there. So try to build a end-to-end agentic workflow. I think recently I was talking to one of my friend. I can take his name. I got approval from him, Santosh. So he was working for a FANG company. He was telling like they are creating some big workflow, multi-agent workflow where whenever you're going on a trip, you will end up having filling a form. And what you do, you book a ticket, you book a car, you book a hotel, you try to see what are good restaurants, what are the good entertainments. All these things, they are trying to create agent for each of the tasks, and where they're having an orchestration whenever a person is going and filling a form. That is a triggering point. That's an event for the orchestration engine where it goes. From there, it will try to see, it will try to give you a good flight tickets, hotel, car, whatever is being defined out there. So that way, like you use your agentic knowledge, agentic AI knowledge in the development, and try to create new agents in the production so that like you can have a newer way of creating these cloud native applications. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing, when AI agents are work, what will happen to me? So as I was telling, I future we cannot predict it. As of today, I would definitely say uh, it won't replace us. It will definitely a productivity boost by X times, like 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, whatever you are. So will it replace you? No, it will give you a lot of time to explore new things on it. And instead of developing a regular application, you go ahead and create an agentic application and deploy it. So will this be the future? I don't know. I cannot predict it, but for sure, like I was telling about my friend's example of agentic multi agent workflows, what they're creating, like that. I'm seeing it. I'm hearing a lot from people who are creating them. So that will be definitely a future, I would say. And last question I have is, how can I make sure I stay on top of the curve? Nothing. Sorry. So, simple thing, like if you go to any conferences, don't sit in silos. I would say I would encourage everyone to read some documentations. It's easy. It's easier than learning a new technology. I would say learning AI is definitely easier than learning a technology. You have a lot of tools out there. You can try it out. You go and do some certifications. You do self learning everything. So that's, I would say. So don't I don't think there's a panicking of AI. It's creating a new opportunity, because I'll give a recent example. Like whenever this cloud comes in, AWS, GCP, or you name any other cloud, right? People were panic saying like, oh, nothing will be there at on-prem. All releasing the roles will be gone. But the new technology trend created new roles, where like we have a lot of SREs, DevOps engineers got award. Similarly, though if I'm a Java developer right now, when AI comes in, I may not be a Java developer. I may transform myself into a AI engineer, where I can train and create new agents, which are useful for me. So, like the way the transition happens. So, to conclude this, so no need to be panic about this. This is an opportunity for everyone. Change is inevitable. So, so changes always happen. So be on top of it to learn things. So from human teams, you may end up having AI agents in your team. That doesn't mean they're replacing you. They're helping you to do your work faster. So I think we came to an end. Thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. In case you want to be in touch, that's my LinkedIn, whatever you're seeing right now, and that's a GitHub. You want to see the code, whatever I've seen. Right, most of the code I'll check it in after my session is done, or in case I feel interesting, I'll do some skeleton codes and I'll put it there. If you want to fork it and try it on your own, you can do that. I think it's time to Alan. Alan, it's back to you.
Okay. Well, thank you. That was really, really good. I enjoyed seeing the differences in a human using an agentic IDE to do code versus a completely autonomous multi-agent collaborative workflow to do it all
Cooperative workforce.
hands-free. It was
Yeah.
really cool. And I liked that you also showed that it was like a 15 times improvement in speed. It was like 15 minutes if you did it, or 1 minute if you
1 minute
just
it's started. Yes.
let AI take the wheel. We didn't really have any questions during the session, but I had one that I wanted to get your opinion on. I like the idea of your future where this is the norm. What do you view is or are the biggest hurdles to get there from where we are today?
Uh, Ethics, trust, security.
There's
So,
a lot
as
of
I
them.
said, yeah, if you wholly rely on autonomous agents, so first thing you need to make sure, like security wise, we never know, like we were discussing earlier, right? It may work for 100 times, and 101 first time, like it may think differently. So we need to bound it to make sure like it's not making any security violations. We as a human follow ethics, and I'm not sure like how agents will be ethically doing all this stuff. So those are the concerns, saying like okay, and in future will it happen? I don't know, but yeah, I would like to see that way, where we end up training, so that like as a human, like we'll have more time to analyze new problems, or we can architect new problems, design new problems, and let it develop. So if it happens, that's well and good. Only thing is we need to make sure like ethically, security wise, trust wise, are they good or not. Yeah, I recently have a disc. I'm reading something on MCP recently. where people are saying MCP is good, and I see like thousands of MCPs got created. So when I look back, how many people are using it, I don't think nobody is going in that route, including me. So I mean, for in office we use it because we have a secured environment where we have our own MCPs. But for my experiments, I'm a little skeptical to use it because I don't know. Like whenever, let's say, like Alan has created one MCP for me to do something. If I take it, will it definitely work, or Alan is trying to hack my system or hack my bank account? I don't know. So that's level of trust or security concerns I have personally. I don't know, like that may have been addressed or in the process of doing it. So if that all happens, if it's behaving well, then I would say like that multi-agentic development teams will be coming in future soon.
Great answer. Great answer. You touched on so many things with that. I want to ask like 5 more questions, but we're running out
No.
of time.
Yes.
That was really good. So I'm going to wrap us up because I think you left us in a wonderful position. This is going to be available on demand for anybody that might have missed any of the earlier parts of it. It's available on YouTube, on the Believe in Serverless YouTube channel. Stick around this week. We don't have any other sessions today, but later this week, if you guys are still watching, we have AI out the wazoo this week. We have sessions tomorrow, the next day, and then I think Thursday evening, at least for Americans, we have Mark Brooker from AWS talking about how DSQL works, about all the way under the covers. It'll be a really cool session. So thank you for attending. Thank you for all of your engagement. And we will see you next time. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.